And we're interrupting our coverage of the beating retreat ceremony because of some breaking news that's just coming in from the national capital. There has been a blast outside the Israel embassy in Delhi, in the national capital. The Delhi police special cell team has rushed to the spot. 4 to 5 vehicles are apparently damaged. No injuries reported at this point of time. So that's the breaking story that we're getting to you right now from the heart of the national capital, the Israel embassy in the Latvian zone. Let's go across to India Today's Abhishek Bhalla for more on this. Abhishek, what can you tell us about this? This is a blast that's happened at the Israel embassy, not very far from where the beating retreat ceremony itself is actually happening. What more do we know about what happened?
Well, Shiv, the early information that is trickled in is that, there was a blast outside the Israeli embassy. Some cars have been damaged. And what we've got to know is that, the police has reached the spot. And teams of special cell are also there. And at this moment, Shiv, I have just about reached the spot where the blast has taken place. Obviously, there is, a lot of restrictions as far as going close to the spot is concerned. But little information that we can gather as of now is that the police teams from the other intelligence agencies have reached the spot. They are trying to get the basics. What was the nature of the blast? We believe that there were no injuries. This is the extremely, very initial stage of the information that we can bring to our viewers as of now. But what is important is that, the blast has taken place at a time when the beating retreat ceremony was on.
Yes.
And this is a time when the security is extremely tight in and around the Latvians' Delhi area. There are various layers of the security over here. There are diversions as far as traffic movement is concerned. And the fact that the blast has taken place at this point of time makes things even more serious.
Yes.
As I said, lots of restrictions, even as I said, is not letting us go close to the spot as of now. But initial information that we have is that a blast did take place about 15 to 20 minutes back. And that's when the police teams have rushed in. And we'll try to bring some visuals to you as early as possible, Shiv, as I'm moving closer to the spot. And in fact, now we are close to the spot. So I will be able to give you some more details of what's happening. And
Abhishek, stay with me. Abhishek, stay with me. I just want to tell all of our viewers that as the crow flies, the Israel embassy is just 1.5 kilometers from where the beating retreat ceremony is taking place at Vijay Chowk. 1.5 kilometers as the crow flies. I'm looking at the top-down map of Delhi right now. 1.5 kilometers. I'm going to put that on air. We're getting a map made to give you a sense of precisely where this is happening. All of this is in central Delhi. Munish Pandey also with me live. Munish, what more can you tell us? The special cell is on the spot. This blast took place, a few meters away from the Israel embassy. Some vehicles have been damaged, but no loss of life or anything like that. But very, very disturbing that this happens. Let's listen in to Arvind Oja, who's on the spot. Munish Pandey live with us. Munish, take us through what we know so far.
Well, at this point of time, Shiv, what we have been given to understand is that this explosive was kept between the pavement and the bushes of Israel embassy, and the cars on the opposite side, the windshield of the cars on the opposite side have been damaged. As of now, police says that there are no injuries which have taken place. But this is a very high security zone in national capital, and this explosion has taken place.
ये देखिए, ये भारी फोर्स यहाँ पर तैनात की गई है, इलाके को कॉर्डन ऑफ कर दिया गया और यहाँ से कुछ दूरी पर ही इजरायली एम्बेसी है। मैं इधर से आपको दिखाने की कोशिश करता हूँ कि स्पेशल सेल के तमाम जो अधिकारी हैं वो यहाँ पर पहुंच चुके हैं। अपने कैमरामैन सत्या को कहूंगा कि यहाँ से दिखाने की आपको कोशिश करें। ये आप देखेंगे अगर यहाँ से, तो यहाँ से आपको तस्वीरें दिखाई देंगी। ये जो दूर है यहाँ पर स्पेशल सेल के जो तमाम बड़े अधिकारी हैं वो वहां पर सामने, वो जो सामने का इलाका आप देख पा रही है, ये वहीं पर जिस तरह की जानकारी जैसा स्पेशल सेल के अधिकारियों ने कंफर्म किया था, जूम करके सत्या जो हमारे कैमरा पर्सन है वो आपको दिखाएंगे कि वो वहां पर दिल्ली पुलिस के जो तमाम स्पेशल सेल के अधिकारी हैं वो मौके पर पहुंचे हुए। जो जानकारी मिली थी स्पेशल दिल्ली पुलिस को और दमकल विभाग के गाड़ी अधिकारियों को 5 बजकर कुछ मिनट पर यह जानकारी मिली कि बंगले नंबर 6 से कि यहाँ पर एक धमाका हुआ है, जिसके बाद स्पेशल सेल के तमाम जो अधिकारी हैं वो मौके पर पहुंचे हुए हैं, जिसमें एक जो इजरायली एम्बेसी है वहां से तकरीबन 150 मीटर की दूरी पर यह धमाका हुआ। स्पेशल सेल के अधिकारियों ने आज तक कोई इस बात की पुष्टि की है। उसके बाद
Okay, that was India Today's Arvind Oja reporting from there. 1.7 kilometers is the distance.
से कुछ दूरी पर निशाना बनाया गया था स्टिकी बम से, जिसके बाद जैसे ये धमाके की खबर आई पूरी गंभीरता से स्पेशल सेल की टीम ने लिया, लेकिन इलाके को कॉर्डन ऑफ कर दिया गया है। ये आप तस्वीरें देख पा रहे होंगे। यहाँ पर जो यहाँ पर सीआरपीएफ के जवान है उनको तैनात कर दिया गया है एहतियात के तौर पर। अगर आप ये देखें तो दमकल की जो गाड़ियां हैं उनको यहाँ पर बुला लिया गया है एहतियात के तौर पर। बम डिस्पोजल की जो टीम है उसको ही बुलाया गया होगा, लेकिन स्पेशल सेल की टीम यहाँ पर पहुंची हुई है। एंटी टेरर यूनिट है जिसको जांच के लिए जाना जाता है। कैमरामैन सत्या को कहूंगा कि वो जरा आगे आए और आपकी वो तस्वीरें दिखाएं जहां पर ये बम धमाका हुआ और कुछ गाड़ियों के शीशे भी टूट गए। स्पेशल सेल के तमाम अधिकारी अगर आप देखेंगे तो वहां पर आपको दिखाई देंगे। और न सिर्फ स्पेशल सेल के बल्कि दिल्ली पुलिस के तमाम जो बड़े आला अफसर हैं। ये देखिए, ये जो तस्वीर है अंजना, यहीं पर वो धमाका हुआ है इजरायली एम्बेसी से कुछ दूरी पर। हमें जो जानकारी मिली है उसके मुताबिक कुछ कार के जो शीशे हैं वो भी टूटे हुए हैं, लेकिन चूंकि इजरायली एम्बेसी हमेशा से निशाने पर रही है, हमेशा से खुफिया अलर्ट वो आता रहा है। पहले भी एक बार इजराइल की जो कार थी, इजरायली दूतावास की जो कार थी उसको निशाना बनाया गया था, जिसके बाद जो स्पेशल सेल की टीम है, दिल्ली पुलिस की टीम है, वो आनन फानन पे यहाँ पर मौके पर पहुंची। अभी भी पूरे एरिया को कॉर्डन ऑफ कर दिया गया है ताकि एविडेंस कलेक्ट किए जा सके। जरा आपको दिखाना चाहूंगा वो तस्वीर दिखाएं आप सत्या। ये जो स्पॉट है जिसको कॉर्डन ऑफ किया गया है, ये जो यहाँ से आपको तस्वीरें साफ दिखाई देगी, यहाँ से कॉर्डन ऑफ किया गया है, वहां पर ये धमाका हुआ। क्लोज करके जरा वो तस्वीर दिखाइए आप सत्या। वो जो कॉर्डन ऑफ किया है दिल्ली पुलिस ने, पीले कलर से आपको दिखाई दे रहा होगा, उस इलाके में वहां पर धमाका हुआ। स्नीफर डॉग की टीम अगर आप दिखाएं सत्या, यहाँ पर स्नीफर डॉग की टीम्स को बुलाया गया है ताकि अगर कोई एक्सप्लोसिव हो तो उसको डिटेक्ट किया जा सके। तो ये जो क्राइम सीन आप देख पा रहे हैं, यहीं पर धमाका हुआ इजरायली एम्बेसी से बेहद नजदीक है, इसलिए। और चूंकि पहले भी इजरायली एम्बेसी की एक इसी दिल्ली में, इस वजह से जो दिल्ली पुलिस है वो अलर्ट हो गई। स्पेशल सेल के तमाम जो अधिकारी हैं वो मौके पर पहुंचे। और अगर आप दूसरे जो क्राइम सीन है उसके बगल से देखें, स्नीपर डॉग्स आपको दिखाई दे रहे होंगे, कैमरामैन सत्या वो दिखाएं। ये देखिए, ये जो सामने की तरफ है स्नीपर डॉग्स वो आपको दिखाई दे रहे होंगे और ये क्राइम सीन है। यहीं पर धमाका हुआ है, कुछ गाड़ियों के शीशे भी वहां पर फूटे हुए। ये देखिए सामने क्राइम सीन है, उसके बगल में स्नीपर डॉग्स है। तो ये फिलहाल है जो जानकारी मिली फायर डिपार्टमेंट को, उसके मुताबिक तकरीबन 5 बजे के लगभग ये कॉल मिली है। उसके बाद से ही तुरंत आनंद फान में दिल्ली पुलिस के तमाम जो अधिकारी हैं वो मौके पर पहुंच गए। अंजना,
Okay, less than 2 kilometers as the crow flies from where the beating retreat ceremony with all of India's VVIPs are watching. The beating retreat ceremony that's still currently on is where this blast has taken place. We are still getting additional information about the intensity of the blast. What I can tell you right now is that there are no injuries or any casualties. There has been some glass breakage to vehicles. The nature of the blast, listen in.
कितने बजे की कॉल थी? क्या कॉल थी आपके पास? अरे बता दीजिए।
पौने 6 के लगभग की।
पौने 6 बजे की कॉल थी। और क्या कॉल क्या थी? क्या कॉल क्या थी?
कॉल यही थी कि बम ब्लास्ट हुआ है, वहाँ पहुंचिए।
अच्छा, तो कोई नुकसान हुआ है क्या? कोई
नुकसान का हमें नहीं पता। शीशे 3 गाड़ियों के शीशे टूटे हैं, वो हमने नंबर ले रखे हैं।
तो आपके पास ब्लास्ट की कॉल थी?
ब्लास्ट की कॉल थी।
अच्छा,
बम ब्लास्ट
की कॉल थी
जी।
और ये कहाँ पे होने की कॉल थी? कहाँ पे होने की कॉल थी?
तुगलक रोड, अपना औरंगजेब।
तो आपने क्या देखा था? कितनी गाड़ियों के शीशे टूटे हुए थे?
हमने गाड़ियाँ नहीं देखी थी, हमने जब पहुंचे, अब हम पहुंचे जब तक इन्होंने कवर कर लिया था।
अच्छा
जी।
कोई इंजर्ड वगैरह हुआ?
इंजर्ड कोई नहीं हुआ।
कोई इंजर्ड नहीं।
कितने बजे की ये कॉल?
सर कितने बजे की कॉल थी? आप थोड़ा बता दें एक बार वापस से, क्या आप लोगों को पता चला?
हमें पौने 6 बजे के करीब
जी, क्या पता चला आपको?
कि बम ब्लास्ट हुआ है।
अच्छा,
तो वहाँ गाड़ी सहायता भेजी जाए।
आप कोई इंजर्ड हुआ इसमें?
या इनको बोलने दो।
तो मैं भी तो पूछूंगा ना यार, बात कर रहा है तू।
बताइए।
हम जो है वहाँ से चले, जो यहाँ पहुँचे हैं, कनाट पुलिस से आए जी। यहाँ पहुँचे तो इस टाइम ये सारा एरिया कवर कर रखा था। आगे जाने से मना कर दिया। गाड़ी खड़ी है, हम तैनात खड़े हैं। अगर कोई बात होती है तो उसके लिए हम।
कॉल क्या आई थी?
कॉल ये आई थी कि बम ब्लास्ट हुआ है।
जनाब, आपको वहाँ पर कुछ मिला क्या? स्पॉट पर आपको कुछ मिला?
स्पॉट पे हम गए, हमने नहीं।
हमारे साथ दमकल विभाग के अधिकारी हैं, हम
मीडिया भाई ये कैमरा नहीं चला पाऊंगा।
Live for more on the story. He's one of the first journalists to reach the spot. Abhishek, we just heard the fire services personnel say that they got a call on a bomb blast that has taken place. We don't want to disturb our viewers, but we're going to report only the facts because this is a developing story where we don't know very much. We're getting Abhishek back in just a moment. These are live pictures coming to you from outside the Israel embassy. This is on APJ Abdul Kalam Marg, which is in the heart of the national capital. Gaurav Sawant is live from the spot. Gaurav, take us through what's happening. The fire services personnel saying that they got a call saying there was a bomb blast. No information, thankfully, of any injuries so far. But this is a high security, very sensitive zone, especially outside the Israel embassy. What do we know, Gaurav?
So Shiv, at this point of time, if I just show you the Delhi police, they've cordoned off this area. They've put up their road closed barricade right here. You can see additional buses have also been put there. We are told that a bomb squad is on its way and is getting here. The area completely cordoned off. You have a PCR there, a PCR here. This is the beginning of the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Road, and this is where the police have cordoned off the area at this point of time. The initial information, as you very rightly pointed out, was of some kind of an explosion and some windscreens of cars around shattered. The blast reportedly, it was an improvised explosive device, perhaps low grade, but we do not know just as yet because it was on the pavement and very little damage has been reported at this point of time. But once the bomb squad examines the damage and what remains there, will we know what exactly was the nature of the explosion, Shiv?
Know the nature of the explosion just yet, but we can confirm, Gaurav, that there have been some vehicles that were damaged, but no injuries or casualties of any kind.
Not as yet, because very sketchy initial information that came in. In fact, the Delhi police teams are also coming in at this point of time, and they've cordoned off this area. What happens beyond this, we will have to wait for an official word from the Delhi police. But you can notice in the images that there appears to be a fire tender that is coming into that area. So that was the call that they had. Based on that call, we will now wait to see what's the report that comes in. At this point of time, as you can look at this location, Shiv, the road has been cordoned off. The APJ Abdul Kalam road has been cordoned off at this area. It's been cordoned off from the other side. This is also the time that the beating retreat would be getting over. 6-5, the beating retreat gets over. So this is, again, one of the main axes that's used. We do not want to speculate on the nature of the explosion or the information that came in. But Shiv, you'd recall, this was the road even in 2012, wherein Israeli diplomats' vehicle had been targeted by a magnetic bomb in 2012. And that time it was suspected to be the role of subversive act from Iran.
Yes.
But as of now, appears to be some kind of a low intensity device, but nature of device still not known.
Gaurav, I just want to read out what the Delhi police has said, and we're going to put that breaking on our screen as well. But just for the benefit of our viewers, two major points that I want to update our viewers on. Today happens to be the 29th anniversary of India-Israel diplomatic relations, and we've also got a statement just in from the Delhi police, and I want to update you on that. A very low intensity improvised device went off at 5:05 p.m. In fact, this was just as the beating retreat ceremony was starting. 5:05 p.m. near APJ Abdul Kalam Road, near the Jindal House outside the Israel Embassy. This blast happened. No injury to any person, nor any damage to property was witnessed, except window panes of 3 vehicles parked nearby have been shattered. Initial impressions suggest a mischievous attempt to create some kind of a sensation. So that's what the Delhi police has just said in a statement to the media. Gaurav Sawant is on the ground, so is Abhishek Balla, our defense editor, who's at the spot. Abhishek, a mischievous attempt to create a sensation is still extremely disturbing, given that this is a very high security zone, number one. Number two, the Israel embassy has special security outside. And number three, the overall security in the VVIP zone is at maximum level right now because of the Republic Day celebrations and the beating retreat. Number four, in view of what happened on Republic Day in Delhi, I think all agencies have been on very high alert. So that's what makes today very disturbing.
That's right, Shiv. At this point of time in the year, the security is obviously extremely tight, especially around the Latvian zone, where the Republic Day parade takes place, where the beating retreat ceremony takes place. And as of now, I am just meters away from the spot from the Israeli embassy has taken place. And what I can show you are live pictures of very heavy security deployment at the spot. There is paramilitary here. There is the Delhi police that has reached the special cell of Delhi police, which is the anti-terror investigating unit, has also sent its personnel. Other officials from the agencies that look into such blasts. Very, very early information. It's still not clear what was the nature of this blast, but we are being told, according to the initial inputs that have trickled in, that it was a low-intensity blast. But what kind of explosives were used, that still needs to be ascertained. Thankfully, there has been no major damage, is what we are being told as of now. But we would like to get some more confirmation from the authorities to be absolutely clear on what the nature of this blast was. There has obviously been some damage to vehicles that were parked. We cannot go beyond this point.
Yes.
So there is a barricade here. There is no way that we can go beyond this. But in the background, are police officials and other security personnel who are trying to ascertain what was the nature of this blast and under what circumstances did the blast take place. All that part of the initial investigation, which is already underway.
Okay, so the only good news right now is that there have been no injuries to anyone. There has been some damage to some vehicles. The window glass has been shattered for 4 to 5 vehicles. But the implications of this are disturbing, because the Delhi police statement suggests that this was a mischievous attempt to create some kind of sensation, but they've succeeded in that. Gaurav, that's the crucial point here, because as we know, to penetrate the kind of security that exists outside the Israel embassy in one of the most high security parts of this country is no joke. Terror groups, we still don't know who's responsible for this, but we do know that terror groups of all kinds have been known to test the waters, test security before larger attacks. Now, I'm not saying that is the case here, but that has been known to happen before, Gaurav.
It indeed has, Shiv, and you've hit the nail perhaps on the head on the aspect of this being the most secure road. I mean, look, right behind me, there is a PCR van that is permanently deployed here, and this is just the beginning of that roundabout from the Taj Mansingh Hotel and the APJ Abdul Kalam Road. Now, there's a PCR parked here. There's a PCR park just behind, just in front of the Israeli embassy, and it's permanently parked there, either on the other side of the road or this side of the road. This road also, Shiv, as you well know, has the largest number of CCTV cameras virtually on every electricity pole, every other electricity pole, and otherwise there are CCTV cameras here. So whoever planted that device would certainly be on one of the CCTV cameras on all along this road. Apart from the security, Shiv, that's provided by the Delhi police, the intelligence bureau is here. Israeli embassy is one of the most protected embassies in the national capital, given the nature of the threat that the Israelis face.
Gaurav, just stay with me. I just want to get Arvind Oja in. Just for a moment. I'm coming back to you. Okay. Developing story, live pictures. As you can see that everything's been cordoned off in this area. So viewers, if any of you live in Delhi anywhere and you're thinking of going into the VVIP zone right now, please don't do that. Anyway, there are restrictions because of beating retreat, and now with this there are likely to be even more vehicular restrictions in and around this area as the special cell gets a fix on what really happened. This happened on APJ Abdul Kalam Marg, formerly called Aurangzeb Road, not just outside the Israel embassy near Jindal House. No injuries or casualties of any kind, but there has been damage to some vehicles. The Delhi police has released its first statement, number one, to say that this was a very low intensity blast and it could have been some kind of mischief to cause a sensation. Israel, of course, a country that has faced many attacks in the past as well, and faces a lot of conflict of its own, politically speaking, and has been the target of such attacks in the past. Makes the context of this attack very, very significant to figure out really what happened and who is responsible. Gaurav, any word just yet from the Israel embassy? I imagine that they will be cooperating right now with the special cell with any information. There must be CCTV cameras all along that road, as you and I have both seen, Gaurav. It's a very, very highly secured area.
This indeed is, and so you have the Delhi police personnel. The Israeli embassy has its own CCTV cameras, not only looking right outside the gate, but also keeping an eye on the periphery. And there was a total overhaul, Shiv, of the security around the Israeli embassy after the 2012 blast, where a magnetic bomb had been planted onto an Innova, one of the embassy vehicles. So right now, Shiv, a number of senior police officers are rushing in. Additional cordons are being put in this place because the forensics team will also be coming in. The bomb squad is already there. The special cell is already there. So they want to understand, what was the nature of the explosives that had been put here. So now barricades are being put. This road will be cordoned off for vehicular traffic till the time that area has completely, forensics have been lifted from there. Mischievous element, yes. But what was the nature of explosive that they had? Shiv, there are more police vehicles that are now going in. The Joint Commissioner of Police of the area is already inside. And in a while from now, perhaps we will get to know more about the nature of explosives that were used in this by these mischievous elements, Shiv.
Things happening at the same time, beating retreat ceremony, great deal of security already in the area. Today, coincidentally, may not be a coincidence at all. Let's go to Abhishek Bhalla.
As Anil will zoom in, we can see the spot not too far away from this place. The area has been cordoned off, a heavy police presence in the area, security personnel on the ground. Senior officers of Delhi police have also reached the spot. Officials from intelligence agencies as well as the special cell, which is the anti-terror unit of Delhi police, is also here. And we are not allowed to go beyond this point. This area is cordoned off. The police, the security personnel are requesting us not to go beyond this. But in the background, if Anil will just zoom in a little more, in the background, a very clear view of where the blast has taken place. Important to mention that this is barely a couple of kilometers away from the beating retreat ceremony at Vijay Chowk, a very sensitive time when the blast has taken place. Very early information has trickled in right now. About 4 to 5 vehicles have been damaged. What is the nature of the blast? What kind of an explosive was there? Will obviously take some time. But what we know is that police is looking into all the details that they can gather from the spot to continue and go ahead with this investigation. With camera person Anil Jaiswal, Abhishek Bhalla, New Delhi for India Today.
All of our reporters reporting